Hey, everybody. We've got another great story to talk to you about. This one is coming about my girl, Wendy Williams. Oh, Wendy, again, Wendy. All right, let me play my intro and we're going to be right back. Let's hear what's going on with Wendy. Eesh. We're back. All right, so we're back again, and we've got another great story to tell you. This is part of our Juicy News segment here at the Juice Radio and Talk Show. We are going to be telling you about some of these stories y'all probably missed on these social media sites or missed on the news stations, but we're going to bring them to you here. We're going to let y'all know. This is part of Hubby and I's conversations that we normally have in the morning. We're sharing this part of our life with you when we talk about these interesting news stories and we give our commentary on what we think about these. Now, as you can see, hubby is not on camera. He doesn't like being on camera, but his voice is here along with us because he is right here in studio with me. Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
What up? What up? What up? Yeah.
All right, so hubby finds these stories and then we have a chit chat about them. So we're going to be having these commentaries on these stories that we talk about, okay, that we share. So this one is coming again from this wonderful site. We love this site. This is a good site. This is from the news break. I put the link in the description so you'll be able to see the link there. Let me put up my banners all over the place, my banners. Put all my banners up. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this story that we found. Now, this story comes out of Newsbreak, and it has the headline that reads, Wendy Williams ex-staffers found bottles, plural, that's plural, not one bottle, that's an S on the end of that, bottles of liquor hidden in the ceiling as talk show hosts unraveled behind the scenes. Now, this was listed. I think they put this on here. They got this, I think, from Radar Online 5 days ago. So for those of you who may be asking when was this, it's said here that it was dated 5 days ago. Today is the 23rd. So you do the math, count backwards. And look at my husband. He's over there counting 18, 17. All right, so we're going to talk about this story. Babe, tell me about this story. What do you know about this story? You sent this story to me. What's the gist on this? What's happening?
Yeah, this one I know you used to like the Wendy Williams show. So
I know, right?
I'll just send it to you and see what you think about it. But I'm just like, ugh. I'm saying, how did she get these bottles up in the ceiling or something? It kind of baffled me. How she got those bottles up to the ceiling.
Oh my goodness. So the story is saying on here, it's saying, according to the stories, it says Wendy Williams ex-staffers. So it's saying ex-staffers because she's no longer there, allegedly. Okay, she's allegedly, this is what they're insinuating. Ex-staffers revealed they were constantly having to check on the talk show host to make sure she didn't go out on stage inebriated. Radar has learned. So they're saying that they kind of had to babysit her allegedly to make sure before you go on stage, let us make sure that you ain't drunk.
Yeah.
What? This is what they're alleging, that she was like that she would really get that intoxicated, allegedly, that they had to now check on her before she went on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So they're bringing this out now. I guess they couldn't say it then when she was there because then she'd have fired. You're fired. You're fired. Take a drink. You're fired. Wendy, really? Now here's the thing. Let's stop laughing for a second, because here's the thing. People who drink, this is my thought. People who drink that excessively are dealing with some hidden issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thought. They're dealing with some hidden issues for them to drink that much. And they're trying to cover it up by drinking. It's almost like they're saying that the drinking drowns all of that. And they live in that world of drunkenness, not because they physically want to be drunk, but because they're trying to cover up and hide something else. So we now are finding out that Wendy is going through a lot and has gone through a lot. And maybe she was going, through a lot of the same stuff back then. And was trying to cover it up with drinking. So tell me, so what is this staff? Okay, so the story is saying everybody on that staff and crew. This is from the news break. I'm reading from the news break. It says everybody on that staff and crew witnessed all kinds of things, one of the source said. The crew said things took a turn in 2017 after she fainted on stage during the taping of a Halloween episode. So pause. So, babe, you remember that episode, right? She was a Statue of Liberty. Right. My husband's over there going like this, like y'all can see him. He's like, y'all can see him. He's like, she was doing like this. Okay, so I remember that episode. I was watching that day when that happened. And first I thought it was kind of a skit. And then when we realized, okay, it was real, and she came back and she was like, okay, I'm fine. But after that happened, everybody was saying something's not right. Something's off kilter. So according to this story, now they're saying that a lot of this stuff was going on. Right. So they're saying here from the story, they said over the next 4 years, the staffers said things started unraveling. One insider told The Hollywood Reporter that during this period, producers sent over 25 text messages expressing concern for Wendy's sobriety. All right. What's your thoughts, babe? What's your thoughts? Wow, this is a lot.
Yeah, somebody should have got to the bottom of it before it got spiral out of control.
Yeah. Yep. Somebody should have got to the bottom of all of this. All right. So the article goes on.
Was the producers sending these text messages to?
Yeah, who were they sending them to? I don't know if it says who they were sending them to. It says the text was sent prior to the 10 a.m. tapings, and execs had to make the decision on whether Wendy Williams should go live. The entertainer often told them around her she was fine, told the people. And normally that's what people that had these abuse problems do, and this, I'm considering a form of alcohol abuse. If it's true, I don't know if it's true that she was, abusing alcohol. These are all allegations, so it's all alleged. But normally I know people that I have been around and that I have seen that had problems with certain, addictions. They would oftentimes tell you they're fine. They wouldn't tell you they're not. How many times have you really spoke to somebody who you yourself knew had a drinking problem, and you told them, hey, you got a drinking problem and I think something wrong? How many times did they say, I'm fine? Yeah. They always will say they're fine. They never would say, hey, I'm not fine.
I'm having a problem.
Right.
They're not going to say they're having a problem.
The only time a drunk person that I have been around will really say they're drunk is when they're having fun with it. They're like, man, I'm drunk. I'm lit. But, it's like almost like a fun thing. It's not like, okay, a serious cry for help thing, but they normally would say that they're fine. Mm-hmm. So, well, let's get to the ceiling part. It says, often if the episodes were being taped was aired later in the week, the ex would watch it before it aired to make sure Wendy didn't appear inebriated. So they weren't the live tapings then. They were some that they would have to go back and check. Right. They said sources say they only pulled one episode in the spring of 2021. Okay, so they only pulled one. Another source said the crew would find bottles of alcohol up in the ceiling tiles and other weird places in the office. Wendy, now we can't say that she did it. It's alleged.
She says in the office. She didn't say in her office.
Right. It said we don't know. It said in the office. We don't know if it's her. She did it, or it could have been allegedly somebody else was drinking it. And because they knew Wendy liked to drink alcohol, they said, well, shoot, they're gonna put this on Wendy anyway. So they could have done that. But we don't know if this was Wendy doing it. But the story is saying that sources say the crew are alleging they found bottles of alcohol up in the ceiling tiles and other weird places in the office. Woo! I mean, wait a minute. How you getting up to the ceiling tile?
That's what I'm saying. And I said maybe stand on a chair or something put it up there. I don't know.
Man, well,
You gotta be desperate to move that. I guess.
well, you know, Wendy is tall though,
Mm-hmm.
so you know she don't have to reach up as high as others. But I'm not saying Wendy did it, but I'm saying somebody had to have some height and some good stand on somethings
Right.
to be putting stuff up there in the ceilings. That woo. It says over here, Wendy's executive producers went over to her New York apartment, and the staff was watching remotely. Wait a minute. Wendy's executives went over to her New York apartment, and the staff was watching remotely. So they had cameras with them when they allegedly went. Because how would the staffers watch remotely if she went over to her New York apartment?
Yeah, I think I went over there for
They had to be
a
watching.
meeting or
They had to.
something.
Okay, so the producers claimed the entertainment was alert at 8 a.m., but things took a time by the time she appeared at the 10 a.m. for a Zoom. Okay, and it says people who attended the call described Wendy as appearing confused and unable to speak coherently. One ex-employee said the call lasted 2.5 minutes before producers cut it off. People were sort of freaking out. She was saying things like, "Oh, I can't wait. I'll be back with you really soon." But it was obvious to anyone watching, that she was not going to be back real soon. One staffer recalled. Wendy Williams returned to the show and was replaced by a string of Wendy never returned to the show and was replaced by a string of guest hosts. To this day, we don't know truly what the issue is, said one producer. Wow. Okay. So people are in these comments here, in these comments on this news article. Now, here's the thing. Again, I want to go back to this part. We don't know who put the bottles up there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who did that. Hey, Pamela. Pamela's in the chat. Good morning, Pamela. Glad to see that you're here. Keep those comments coming. Thank you for being here. This is our juicy news segments. All right, and we've got Tammy in the chat. Hey, Tammy. Tammy says that's not unusual for people with alcohol drug issues to do. We would find stuff all over the place when I worked in residential treatment. You'd be amazed at the creativity. I'm amazed at these ceiling towels. I'm amazed that somebody went through great lengths, and you right, Holy Spirit. And if somebody was intoxicated and then stand on top of something in their intoxicated state and put it in a towel, they could have risked falling, because when you're intoxicated to the point of over intoxication, you're not evenly balanced.
Right.
And so thank God that they didn't fall and break their necks and stuff like that. So I understand. And Tammy's saying that people get creative when it comes to hiding stuff. Ceiling tiles is probably just one of the creative places that people have hidden things. I remember watching a movie, and the person was an alcoholic in the movie, and they hid their alcohol in the back of the toilet. You know, the part that you lift up and the water goes in there?
Oh,
They hid it in there, and they would go in there, and they would, that's where they would get their alcohol. Because who would think nobody even want to touch the back of the toilet, the top part, and that's where they hid their alcohol. So it's amazing where people do this. But again, I think people are doing, people who are having these alcohol, related problems are again covering up stuff. Tammy says that we would find it there too. Yeah, in the toilets. Oh my goodness. In the back of the toilet. So, let me tell you, there are some places. I mean, this is something. So Wendy Williams, they're saying that they're putting her name to this. I'm gonna have to defend Wendy until y'all can show me some proof that she did this. I don't know who put the alcohol in the ceiling tiles. I don't know who did that, but I am going to say if somebody did do it, whoever put the alcohol in the ceiling tiles, y'all get some help, because if you hide your liquor like that, then you got a real problem, and you need to get healed of that issue and find out what the root of it is. Again, like I said at the top of this video, people who overindulge in alcohol are usually trying to cover up something that they're dealing with, or having a hard time dealing with whatever it is they are dealing with. That's just my thought on this. I'm not gonna say that it was Wendy. I know y'all want to put this on Wendy, and if it does come out to be Wendy, then y'all let me know, and I'll come back and do another episode to say they proved that it was Wendy. But until they can prove that it's Wendy, I'm just not gonna say that it was her right now. I mean, what's your thoughts on it, babe?
Yes, I agree. Unless you have physical evidence that
Yeah.
she did it, then just hearsay.
It is. And I think the reason why they're putting her name on it, and again, it could have been her, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. But the story is gonna get out quicker if you got Wendy's name on it. It's gonna get out much quicker than if the staffer, one of the staffers' name was Johnny. You say, John, had some alcohol. He found some alcohol in the ceiling tile. People probably ain't gonna give it such a big story. But if you attach Wendy name on it, it's gonna be out there.
Yeah.
But it's allegations, it's alleged, and I'm not gonna say she did it. And if she did do it, Wendy, please get the help that you need. But everyone, start looking out for your friends, your coworkers. Start looking out for one another. And when these things happen, don't wait. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Don't wait until the person leaves to start talking about it.
Right.
Don't do that. Talk about it while they're there, because you could probably be the one that's going to help them to get to a better state before they have to leave. Because sometimes that's what we do. We wait until the person leave, and then we want to talk about it. Then we want to post it all on social media. Let's talk about it, while they're there in a loving space, and get some help for these people. Have some conversations about it. So Tammy says, but she does have a problem. She probably did put it there so it would so it wouldn't like she was drinking as much as she was. So it wouldn't be like she was drinking as much as she was. That's what they do. And that's alleged that she probably did do it. And again, I'm saying if she did do it, then Wendy, you were going to great lengths to hide this. And you're right, Holy Spirit. And if she was hiding it, if it was her or whoever put the bottles in the ceiling, if y'all were hiding it, then somebody had to tell y'all about the drinking habits. Somebody had to tell y'all about that. You know what I'm saying, babe?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to hide something, somebody had to have that discussion with you about it, and now you're hiding it.
Right.
And you're saying, okay, now I done had this discussion with them. I don't want them to find this, so I'm going to hide it. So there was a discussion that probably took place about this, and they just continue to hide it. And it's sad. It's sad. And it's not just a Wendy issue. Let's talk about this alcohol thing. It's not just a Wendy Williams issue. This has been going on since alcohol was created. It's not just a Wendy thing. This is a lot of people that are doing this. Wendy just happens to be one of these biggest stars that's out here, and has said, people said she had this issue, and so that's why people are talking about it so much. But y'all probably got an uncle or cousin or somebody that did the same thing.
Right.
They just ain't reached the news yet. Tell me about what you thought, babe.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, things been alcohol, diseases, all different people, different
things.
Different things. Yeah.
So Pamela said in the chat, she says, covering up their hidden hurts and pains from their past issues. Yeah, right. That's what a lot of them do, Pamela. A lot. They said that they don't want to face or deal with. Therefore, they soak in alcohol to not deal with it. But alcohol is only a temporary fix. It is. It is a temporary fix. And sometimes people deal with stuff. And thanks, Pamela, for the comment. That's great. Sometimes people deal with stuff or have gone through so much, it's hard for them to pull out of it. And you're right, Holy Spirit. Sometimes they have told people about what they've gone through, and get this, people don't listen, people don't believe them, and so it puts them in a deeper hole.
Mm-hmm.
It puts them in a much deeper hole. Hey, Pastor Lorenzo's in the chat. Hey, Pastor Lorenzo. She says, those who wait are mostly clout chasers. They do. Most of them, they are clout chasers. I'm telling you. Thanks so much. Keep those chats coming. So here's again the thing that's going on. That we're talking about the alcohol issue now. Overindulgence of the alcohol. I really don't like calling people alcoholics. I really don't like doing that. But is that what they say is the the term. I don't really like. You overindulge in it. I mean, when people overindulge in eating, do we like being called fat?
Food addict.
Food addict. That's a good word for it. You're a food addict because you're overweight. But I just don't like, saying, you're alcoholic. But I guess they say that's the term. But I'm just gonna say they overindulge in it, because they won't be alcoholics if they do less of it. And sometimes people say they should just turn it all the way off, don't do any of it, but it's really kind of hard because, like, let's go back to the fat part. I consider myself fat. I consider myself overweight. I'm working on it. But for people to tell me just don't eat chocolate cake at all, it's hard for me. It's hard for me not to eat it at all. But if you just tell me, hey, eat it in smaller portions, I could do that. I can work with that. And I think with the people who overindulge in alcohol, if they would just, drink smaller portions, they could be able to get their over abuse of it under control. That's just my thought. I'm always trying to help everybody. I don't know, maybe I'm an enabler. Maybe I'm an enabler. I don't know. So Pamela says, hey, Pastor Lorenzo. And she also says gluttony issues. We're going to call it gluttony issues. I don't know, the church, when we say glutton in the church, we'd be like, oh, we wanting to rebuke that. I don't know, Pamela. But it is to have a glutton issues. I don't know. Well, we're going to pray for Wendy Williams. We're going to pray for the whole staff. We're going to pray for all of that. And we're going to pray that they get this together. Tammy says, actually, the person has to determine if they are an alcoholic for themselves. Okay. I get that. She said, clinically, we use substance use disorder. Oh, okay. So that's the clinical term. Substance use disorder.
Substance use disorder.
Tammy, can I use that substance use disorder for food too? I mean, is that the same for me to put on the church altar and tell the people y'all gotta, or we just gonna put food use disorder? I don't know. We're gonna put food use disorder because we need to help the church folks like me lose some of this weight and get right, because we have disorders also that we need to correct. Y'all sitting out here judging Wendy Williams. Let me talk to my church people for a minute. Chloe say, oh, here it comes. Y'all out here judging Wendy Williams and talking about Wendy Williams and talking about her alleged inebriated status and talking about how she, this, that, and the other. And y'all overweight. Y'all on all these prescription medications yourselves. You ain't get your, like Pamela said, you ain't get your gluttony issues resolved. And like Tammy said, the issues with your disorders. We have issues that we're dealing with also. So before you try and throw the rock and hide your hand, look at yourself in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said. Look at the man in the mirror and try and make a change within yourself. Tammy said, I can explain more later. Tammy, I can have you on the chat because we can explain this. We need to explain more of this later. So Pastor Lorenzo says, you are not fat or overweight. Those are terms society use. Well, come on and thank you. Okay. So I'm not fat or overweight. Those are terms the society use. He says, you may weigh more than you want to, but you let it be your opinion and not anyone else's. Okay. So we have to determine it. Now, here's the thing, Pastor Lorenzo, because my doctor said I was overweight.
That's why you said society.
She part of society. So she is part of society, Pastor Lorenzo. That's what my husband is saying. What you think, babe? Because my doctor, she did tell me, she said I was in the obese range. And I'm laughing because I ain't gonna let the devil take my tears and turn them into sorrow. I'm gonna turn them into joy. I'm laughing, but I'm working on it while I'm working on it. But my doctor did say that. She said that about both of us. So what do you think, babe, about that? People saying, like, Pastor, I need to have this chat. This is a good chat. Society and what society thinks of you and your body.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
What's that comedy show you was watching the other day? He said,
oh yeah, baby doll beauty supply, the baby doll beauty.
No, skip. The guy said I went to the doctor. My doctor said I'm something.
Uh-huh.
And the wife said, he didn't tell you this. He said you're obese.
Oh, the guy
Yeah,
said.
he said, yeah, I went to the doctor today, and the doctor said I am a beast. He said, no, that's not what he said. He said you're a beast.
He did. She said he was so proud. He said, my doctor said I'm a beast. And his wife, you hear in the background, she said, no, your doctor said you're obese. And he's like, oh. That is funny. So Pastor Lorenzo says, but what it is based on compared to who? I was told that as well. Oh, so he's saying as far as the doctor saying, what is that based on or compared to? Okay, I get that.
They base it on your height and something with other people or something, what you should, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I get, and like you're saying the same thing like Pastor Lorenzo. They're based. Who are they basing this on? One person, one statistical group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put you in a group.
Put us in a group because those Samoan people, the Samoans, they're big, nice, beautiful looking people, but they're so fit.
Yeah, they're thick. Yeah.
They're thick, but they're fit.
So you got to go to Samoa, and maybe you might be not a beast, I guess. If you go to Samoa.
Say your mic.
I said, if you go to Samoa, you might not be a beast. You just be big boned.
You just be. You will be a beast if you're Samoan, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. So Tammy said, just for the record, the BMI chart was not made by medical professionals. What? Tammy, share. She says the BMI chart, because that's what my doctor judges us on, the BMI chart. Right. So she says it is gender and racially biased and not a measurement of weight. What? Gender and racially biased? Oh my gosh. Really, Tammy? I need to have that conversation. Pastor Lorenzo said, yes, let's have that conversation. I know. When are y'all ready to have the conversation? Because, I can send you the link right now. Tammy says it was developed to determine the average white male. What? The average white male? Oh, Tammy, if you're not at work, I'm going to drop this link right here so you can have this conversation. Pastor Lorenzo and Tammy, y'all let me know if y'all able to get in this chat. Put it in the chat if y'all want me to drop the link to y'all because this is a mess. Pastor Lorenzo said, exactly, that's what my doctor told me, that it was based on male. Tammy said, look it up. I'm going to look it up. I am. So should we not be going based on the BMI chart? Pastor Lorenzo says, I wish I was off. We need to schedule. Yes, let's schedule. Let's schedule with you and Tammy. I'll inbox y'all and see when we can schedule to do this because I never knew that the BMI was based on determined by the average white male. So, I need to get more information about this. Let me write this down. BMI chart. Chat. We need to have that. Tammy and Lorenzo. Let's have this chat. I'm going to schedule this for you guys because I want to know more about this. And then the other thing I want to talk about, and when we're doing this, is maybe how can a lot of people get off of these medicines that they're on because these BMI charts are saying, maybe I should ask that question. Does the BMI chart have anything to do with the cholesterol and blood pressure levels and stuff like that? Maybe we need to have that discussion too. But this is interesting. I'm coming on here talking about Wendy's and find out this information that's really needed. The BMI chart. Wow. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to schedule this and we're going to have this whole conversation. But that's our conversation about Wendy Williams' story that's out there alleging that there were some bottles of alcohol found in the ceiling tiles by an ex-staffer. And it's a shame that this happened, but we don't know. I don't know who did it. I'm just bringing the story and giving my commentary on it because that's what I do, commentary on it, and just give my commentary on the issue. So I'm praying that anybody who has a substance abuse, like Tammy said in the chart, there's substance abuse. Anybody that has that substance or substance use disorder, substance use disorder, that you seek help, get professional help now. Get professional help, because everybody, auntie and uncle, ain't always a professional. Even though sometimes having a nice conversation with them sometime will help you. Sometimes it will, but then sometimes some people need to really go in for that professional help. All right. So that's my commentary on this story about the alleged alcohol, the bottles of alcohol that's found in the ceiling tiles at the office. We're going to be back. We got another story coming up about a man who died after eating oysters. And we've ate at that restaurant before in Florida.
Yep, raw oysters.
Ooh, he ate raw oysters. And unfortunately, passed away. I'm about to bring that story to you here coming up next. All right, I'm going to say goodbye for now, but I'm going to be back. Y'all make sure y'all go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Look it up on YouTube. It's the Juice Radio and Talk Show. Say it with me loud. The Juice Radio and Talk Show. Look for that red cup. You see the logo on the screen here. When you see it, click the yes, I want to subscribe button, and then click that notification button as well, so that y'all know when I go live, because I just do pop-ups, y'all. I don't have no program set time except for my church news on Thursday and my reality series I do on Wednesdays at 7:30 and my church news at 7:30. All these other shows, y'all, I just pop up. Like some popcorn popping. You don't know which kernel going to pop next, but eventually they're going to pop. Pastor Lorenzo said, if it was really based on weight, then why do people who are not overweight have diabetes and cholesterol problems? Why? You're right. Wait. I got so much to learn. And I'm reading Tony Robbins' new book about all of this. And it talks about a lot of this stuff in there. I just started reading this. My friend told me about this. And I just started reading this. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to even get more into that book. All right. Yep, you're right. If it was really based on weight, then why do people who are not overweight have diabetes and cholesterol problems? Why do they? That's interesting. All right. We're going to talk about it coming up here on the Juice Radio and Talk Show. We're going to put this on our news segment. This is going to be our healthy news segments that we're going to be talking about. All right. Well, we're going to be back here coming up here shortly with this next story. Y'all stay here. If y'all on the channel right now, get ready for this next pop-up that's going to be coming up right here in the next 2 minutes. I'm going to be right back talking about that story. I'm heading out here now, but I will be back. Bye.